Breaking.
Well, we have some breaking news here. Like, share, subscribe. While it seems like the LeBron and Jordan debate will never end, who's the best? Who has the best true shooting percentage? Who has the most championships? Who's the tallest? Who has the best jump shot? And so on and so on and so on. Who has the better defense? It's really all opinion at the end of the day. It's up to who you like. So it's subjective from person to person. The only way we can truly identify who's the best is by making a set category or a set criteria, which could also vary from person to person. And you can try to sway it or persuade the audience to come your way. Michael Jordan being many of the past year's NBA fans' favorite player and greatest of all time, the new school or the new wave greatest of all time would be LeBron James. And while we can throw out opinions all day, let's dive straight into the stats or into the tail of the tape to check out these two players. LeBron James coming in at 6'8", 240. Michael Jordan, 6'6", 215. When we look at championship rings, Michael Jordan has 6 out of 6. LeBron James has 4 championships out of 10 tries. When we look at scoring champs, Michael Jordan is a 10-time scoring champ to LeBron's 1-time scoring champ. When you look at all defensive teams, Michael Jordan has 9, LeBron James has 5. Michael Jordan also has a 1988 Defensive Player of the Year. LeBron James has never been the Defensive Player of the Year. Michael Jordan has been swept 2 times. LeBron James has been swept 3 times. Jordan was swept in a best-of-5 series twice in the 80s. Michael Jordan is a 2-time dunk contest champion. LeBron James never attempted the dunk contest. I'm kind of disappointed LeBron James has never attempted a dunk contest, being the quote-unquote best physical specimen the game has ever seen, and the physical specimen that he is, with his size and agility. I don't know if he has the creativity to win a dunk contest, but I guess we'll never know now. When we look at points per game, Michael Jordan is 30.1 points per game for his career. LeBron James is 27.1 points a game for his career. Rebounds per game, Michael Jordan is 6.2. LeBron has 7.4 rebounds. Assists per game, 5.3 for Michael Jordan, 7.4 for LeBron James. Steals, Michael Jordan almost averaged 2.5 steals per game. LeBron James almost 1.5 at 1.6. Blocks per game, they both come in at 0.8, exactly the same. Michael Jordan is leading in points. LeBron leads in rebounds and assists. Michael Jordan wins the steal category. Comes to era competition and comparing the eras, they both played against some all-stars. Michael Jordan had Karl Malone, Dominique Wilkins, Charles Barkley, Sean Kemp, some really, really great players that I can't even name them all in the 90s, and some great defensive players. But you were able to hand check back then, which made it a lot harder to get into the lane and to score points. You could kind of guide the man wherever you want to go. And it made it a lot tougher to score. Now you can't touch a person. So when you can't touch a person, the stats for the offense are going to be way more inflated. You're going to get way more shots up. The game and the pace of the game is much faster. They're averaging way more shots. I don't know the exact number, but it's probably about, 15 to 20 more shots a game, or 10 to 20 more shots a game. They're averaging more shots per game. When it comes to competition, LeBron James, I would say, plays against the better competition on offense. But you can't hand check in this era. So the players are more skilled, but they play less defense. The average player played better defense than some of the good players today back in when you compare the 90s and this era. This era is like a lot more cupcake, and it's a lot more razzle-dazzle, and it's about the fans. I would say LeBron played against the better competition, if you want to look at talent-wise and offensive talent, but he was still not able to defeat them at least half of the time, which you have to do if you're going to be the greatest of all time and try to claim that title as GOAT. Dominate your era. There were too many people that shared his era with him. LeBron made it to the finals 10 times, but that's sort of misleading because the Eastern Conference was very weak, and its toughest competition being the DeMar DeRozan and Kyle Lowry Raptors, which a lot of times just bowed down to him and just gave it because they knew they couldn't beat him. They lost year after year after year. LeBron didn't have much competition while stacking his teams and stacking his bench. He always had since going to the Miami Heats with Dwayne Wade and Chris Bosh, he's always had a stacked deck. He can't go into the next year with the same roster if he doesn't think he doesn't have a chance. And I think luck is part of being the greatest or being one of the GOATs. You have to be lucky also. He basically creates his own luck. Michael Jordan made it to the finals only 6 times, but he had much, much stiffer competition through the Eastern Conference trying to get there, especially in the 80s with the 80s Celtics and Larry Bird, which is one of the best teams of all time. A couple of the biggest issues I have with LeBron James is that other players and teams dominated his era more than he did. And he never wanted to go into a season without a stacked team ever since he visited Miami, Pat Riley, Dwayne Wade, Chris Bosh, and all them boys. Ever since, was it 2012, 2013, I believe he made the decision. Ever since then, he has not went into a season without the deck stacked. Probably except his first year when he had Lonzo Ball and Brandon Ingram when he first arrived to the Lakers with Magic Johnson in his first year. He stacked the deck and he still failed a lot. That's a huge problem. Let's look at some of the players and teams that dominated in LeBron's era. First, there was Kobe Bryant, who got 2 rings on LeBron's watch. There was the Spurs, who won 4 rings on LeBron's watch. I might have to add that they won one of them in his rookie year. Kevin Durant was occasionally the best player in the world, on and off, in LeBron's era. You had to wonder who was the best out of Kevin Durant and LeBron from time to time. Kawhi Leonard had his run. He was the best two-way player, quote-unquote, if you remember that. And, of course, there's Thanos, a.k.a. Steph Curry and the Golden State Warriors, who had 4 rings on the Kings' watch. LeBron continues to stack teams at the top of every year and then trade some of the players out during mid-season every year to try to tweak his roster to get into the championship game or ultimately the finals. And I don't know a player in the NBA who's allowed to do that today, past time or present day. Michael Jordan's most important wingmans were Dennis Rodman and Scottie Pippen. And I might have to add Ron Harper. Listen to some of LeBron James' Hall of Fame teammates. He had Dwayne Wade, Ray Allen, Anthony Davis, Dwight Howard, Kyrie Irving, Derrick Rose, Chris Bosh, Carmelo Anthony, Russell Westbrook, Shaq, Kevin Love, and probably a few more that I didn't get to mention. He also had Isaiah Thomas when he was kind of doing this thing. He had just came back from injury, but he still had Isaiah Thomas on his bench, which is ridiculous. If you give Kobe Bryant or Michael Jordan this talent or the ability to move around like LeBron James does, I think they end up with at least 7 to 8 rings. I'm glad Kobe Bryant didn't jump team to team. He probably would have been our hands-down GOAT right now, sitting on about 7 rings. I think LeBron James was a definitely failure after being a journeyman and still coming up short to Michael Jordan, Kobe Bryant, and only tying Shaquille O'Neal. I think it's disrespectful to Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, who has 6 rings with 2 teams. Magic Johnson has 5 rings in 9 years with 1 team. Kobe Bryant, 5 rings, 1 team. And don't forget about Tim Duncan, 5 rings with 1 team, and he swept LeBron James in the finals. I have all these players ranked ahead of LeBron James in the all-time great list, top 10 list. LeBron James is probably 5th or 6th on my list based on what he has accomplished and what he had and the help he had and the failures on top of it. You made it to the finals, but you lost over and over and over. You lost 6 times. I think LeBron James has to pass some of these players or worry about competing with some of these players, Kareem, Magic, especially Magic and Kobe. He got to pass them before talking to Michael Jordan. Let me know what you think in the comment section, man.
Breaking.
Well, we have some breaking news here. Like, share, subscribe.